Is reality real? What is real? These questions have puzzled humanity for ages. It's a question philosophers have pondered for centuries, delving into the nature of existence and perception. We experience the world through our senses, relying on sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell to navigate our surroundings. But what if those senses deceive us? Optical illusions and sensory tricks show us that our perception can be flawed. What if my red is your blue? The way we perceive colors and objects might be entirely subjective. Could your reality be completely different from mine? It's a mind-bending thought that challenges our understanding of the world. We assume everyone experiences the world the same way we do. But this assumption might be fundamentally flawed. But what if that assumption is wrong? What if each person's reality is unique, shaped by their individual experiences and perceptions? What if reality is not a fixed, objective thing? Instead, it could be fluid, ever-changing, and influenced by our minds. What if it's fluid, changing, shaped by our individual perceptions? Think about it. Every ripple in the water, every reflection in the mirror could tell a different story. We've all had moments where our perception differed from others. These moments make us question the nature of reality. A disagreement about the color of a shirt. Is it blue or is it green? Such simple disagreements can reveal deeper complexities, a different interpretation of a work of art. One person sees beauty, another sees chaos. These differences highlight the subjectivity of our experiences. These small discrepancies hint at a deeper truth. Reality might be more subjective than we realize. Our minds play a crucial role in shaping what we perceive as real. Join me as we journey down the rabbit hole of perception and explore the mind-bending truth about reality. Together, we'll uncover the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of our everyday experiences. Seeing is believing, or is it? Let's start with the most obvious sense: sight. We rely on our eyes to navigate the world, but even vision, our most trusted sense, can be unreliable. Think about how our perception of people changes over time. Someone we once found unattractive might become beautiful to us as we get to know them. Or consider identical twins. They look exactly alike to a stranger, but to their close friends and family, they appear completely distinct. How can this be? Our brains don't simply record visual information like a camera. They interpret it, filtering it through our experiences, memories, and emotions. This means that two people can look at the same thing and see something completely different. The color of your world. Color is another fascinating example of subjective perception. We perceive color because our eyes contain specialized cells called cones. These cones are sensitive to different wavelengths of light. However, the way our brains interpret these signals varies from person to person. Some people have slight variations in their cone cells, leading to subtle differences in color perception. Others may have a condition called synesthesia, where they experience colors in association with other senses, like hearing or taste. The point is, the colors we see are not inherent properties of the objects themselves. They are products of our brains, constructed from the information our eyes provide. This means that the red you see might be different from the red I see. We'll never truly know. Mind games? How state of mind shapes reality. Our thoughts and emotions are powerful forces that shape the way we see the world around us. Our mental and emotional state also plays a significant role in shaping our perception. When we are joyful, the world seems brighter and more inviting. Conversely, when we are sad or anxious, everything can appear bleak and unwelcoming. Think about how differently you experience the world when you're happy compared to when you're sad. Happiness can make even mundane tasks feel enjoyable, while sadness can turn the simplest activities into burdens. A simple walk in the park can feel exhilarating when you're in love and utterly depressing after a breakup. The park hasn't changed. The trees, the paths, the scenery remain the same. What's changed is your internal state. Your emotions and thoughts color your perception, transforming your experience of the same environment. The effects of alcohol demonstrate this even more dramatically. Alcohol can alter our mood and perception. making us feel more relaxed or more anxious, depending on the context. A drunk person's perception of reality is notoriously unreliable. Their senses are dulled, their judgment is impaired, and their coordination is shot. They may see things that aren't there or misinterpret what they do see. Their senses are dulled, their judgment is impaired, and their coordination is shot. This can lead to accidents and misunderstandings, further complicating their perception of reality. This illustrates how easily our perception can be altered by changing our brain chemistry. Medications, drugs, and even natural changes in brain chemistry can significantly impact how we perceive the world. It raises the question, if our perception can be so easily manipulated, how can we be sure of anything we experience? This philosophical dilemma challenges us to consider the nature of reality and our place within it. Intelligence and the perception puzzle. Could intelligence also play a role in how we perceive reality? It's an intriguing thought. Someone with a high IQ might process information differently, potentially leading to a more nuanced or complex understanding of the world. Imagine a child trying to understand calculus. The concepts are simply beyond their grasp. Similarly, perhaps there are aspects of reality that are inaccessible to us because our brains aren't equipped to comprehend them. This isn't to say that intelligence is the only factor determining our perception of reality, but it does suggest that our cognitive abilities could limit or expand our understanding of the world around us. The science of subjectivity. So how does science explain these variations in perception? Neuroscience offers some fascinating insights. Our brains are constantly bombarded with sensory information. To make sense of this onslaught, our brains filter and interpret this data, constructing a coherent picture of the world. This process is influenced by a variety of factors, including our genes, our past experiences, and our current emotional state. Essentially, our brains create a model of reality based on the information available to them, and this model is unique to each individual. Furthermore, studies have shown that our brains can even alter our perception of reality to fit our expectations. This phenomenon, known as top-down processing, demonstrates the powerful influence our minds have on what we perceive. Consciousness, the ultimate filter. The role of consciousness in shaping reality is perhaps the most mind-boggling concept of all. Some scientists and philosophers believe that consciousness is not merely a product of the brain, but a fundamental aspect of the universe. According to this view, consciousness acts as a filter, shaping the raw material of reality into the world we experience. This implies that reality might be radically different from how we perceive it. What we perceive as solid objects might be nothing more than vibrating energy fields. Time itself could be an illusion. While this is still a highly debated theory, it raises profound questions about the nature of our existence and the limits of human understanding. A universe of unique perceptions. If we accept that perception is subjective, it leads to a fascinating conclusion. There are as many realities as there are people in the world. Each person's reality is a rich tapestry woven from their individual experiences, emotions, and thoughts. Each of us experiences the world in a slightly different way, shaped by our unique perspective and experiences. The way we see a sunset, hear a song, or feel the wind on our face is uniquely our own. This doesn't mean that there's no shared reality at all. We find common ground in many aspects of life, creating a collective understanding. We can all agree that the sky is blue, or at least appears that way to most of us. This shared perception forms the basis of our communication and connection. But it does suggest that our individual realities are like bubbles, overlapping and intersecting, but ultimately separate and distinct. Each bubble contains a world of its own, full of personal meaning and significance. This realization can be both liberating and humbling. It allows us to appreciate the vast diversity of human experience and the beauty of our differences. It frees us from the need to impose our version of reality on others. Instead, we can embrace the richness that comes from understanding and valuing different perspectives. And it reminds us that everyone else is experiencing the world from their own unique vantage point. This awareness fosters empathy, compassion, and a deeper connection with those around us. The unknowable truth. So after this journey into the heart of perception, have we found an answer to our initial question? What is reality? The truth is, we may never know. Our brains are limited by their own design. We are trapped within the confines of our own perception. Like prisoners in Plato's cave, we only ever see shadows of the true reality. And we can never be sure if our interpretations of those shadows are accurate representations of what lies beyond. This realization can be unsettling, but it can also be a source of wonder and awe. The universe is full of mysteries that we may never fully comprehend, and perhaps that's part of what makes it so beautiful. So, what is reality? Despite the limitations of our perception, we can't simply give up on trying to understand reality. We must continue to question, to explore, and to refine our understanding of the world around us. While there may not be one definitive answer to the question of reality, the very act of seeking that answer can lead us to a deeper appreciation for the complexity and wonder of the universe. Ultimately, the true nature of reality may remain an enigma, but that shouldn't stop us from embracing the mystery and finding beauty in the unknown. Because even if we can't fully grasp it, reality, in all its subjective glory, is still pretty amazing.